Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brad, and welcome back to Screamin' Pirate EDC. Today we're taking a look at the most unique knife I've ever had on the channel. It's a magnetic knife. It's super cool. It's from Brian Winters over at Winter Blade Co. It is the Factor. Let's go and take a look at some B-roll of what I have on me today in the knife, and let's get into it. Guys, so if you haven't been here before, this is going to be a full review of a knife. It is the Plunder or Plank. Will I plunder it, keep it in the collection? Will I be picking one up in this case? Or will it walk the plank and will it leave the collection and I never pick one up? Let's find out. So, per usual, I'm going to have some stats pop up on the screen. And then I'm going to have B-roll while I'm talking. And you can kind of take a look at the knife and get a closer look at it. So, stats. We are looking at a 3.3 ounce knife, guys. It is light. This one in particular has a G10 like flipper back spacer and a carbon fiber on one side, titanium on the other. Overall length, you're looking at 7 inches. You have a 3-inch blade, but 2.5 inches of cutting length because of that finger choil. And then obviously 4 inches of handle. Your handle width is going to be 0.4 inches. Your blade stock is going to be 0.11 inches, and then your behind the edge, this, even though this is a flat grind, is going to be 0.01 inches or 0.4 millimeters. Guys, the thinnest hollow grind I have is 0.3. It doesn't get any thinner than this. It can cut. It'll be fine, I promise. Now that we have the stats out of the ways, guys, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. Now, I've had this knife for about, 2-3 weeks now, thanks to Brian. I'm very thankful. But it's so new, it's so different. How does it look next to other knives? You know, this is obviously way out of left field compared to everything else. So let me go and open it up and let's start doing some knives. First up, let's do the QSP Penguin. Okay, this one is in titanium. There you go. Get a good idea of them next to each other. After that, let's step up in price and do the Urban EDC F5.5. Two sheep's foots right there. Very similar, actually. I'll go into which one of these I like more because, as you may know, if you've been around here, F5.5 is my reigning champ, guys. After that, let's step up to a recent acquisition and one that kind of breaks the heart, guys. This is the Elijah Isham We Knife Pleroma. There you go. After that, we're going to take a look at the Crawler from Israel over at Arcane Designs. Nice, cool, warny, super aggressive when you see that next to each other. After that, I would say probably the most notable Warncliffe out there right now, it's going to be the Brian Brown Jaeger M. Very similar in overall, guys. It's not too far off. And then finally, this one is not so much here for size comparisons, but more for sound, because audio plays into this knife for me, guys. Oh, let me get him out. The big boy, the Renegade EDC Gungnir. Okay, so we have all those out. Talking about sound, let's get into my thoughts on this knife and let me talk about why I think it's interesting. So beyond the magnets, I love the sound of the knife. So this is the Gungnir. Okay, nice metallic noise. It sounds really good. Wait till you hear this. This is the Factor. Okay, it literally sings. I don't have a better word for it. It's awesome, okay? With that being said, if I could just listen to this knife and just fidget it all day. In and out of the pocket, it was great. I love every way you can open this knife. It is just a blast. What really makes it special, obviously, like I've mentioned a few times, is the magnets. So I'm going to try to do a close-up of the magnets. It's a little hard, But let me see if I can get this on camera. Right here with what looks almost like a, I don't know, like one side to an axis lock. This is what Brian is calling the M lock. So right here, this little like nub, I guess, there's a magnet on the other side. And then right to the right of that, right here, there's another magnet. When those two are on top of each other, that's what happens when this is open. So when it's open, it's not going anywhere. It literally, guys, I literally can't move this knife until you pull this back and then it drops. Now, what's keeping this knife closed? This is gonna be a little bit harder to catch for you guys. If you look down in here, I'm gonna try to get it on a B-roll or on camera. There are two magnets down in there in the handles, okay? And then there are two plastic pieces right next to them that's actually keeping that knife in place so it doesn't wiggle from side to side. But those magnet pieces are actually what pulls the knife closed, more or less. And whenever it's closed, it doesn't open. So very cool stuff going on here. I am not going to take this apart during the video. I will have a link in the description. Brian has taken this apart, Brian Winters. He has a whole video on it. The reason I'm not taking it apart, I can, as someone who's owned a lot of knives, it's not exactly easy. Part of what's happening is there are stainless steel washers on either side of the bearings. So it's literally, the best way I can describe this to you guys, let me close this back, is you have blade, bearing, stainless steel washer, scale, okay? What happens when you're reassembling it is that stainless steel washer is being pulled by the magnets on the M-lock. So it takes some finesse to get it back together. That's why I'm linking it and I'm not taking it apart on video. Either way, guys, it's fascinating. It sounds great. But how is it in hand? I think I saw Metal Complex say this. It's kind of just a square with chamfered edges. I'm going to agree to disagree. I think there's enough contouring around here that whenever I put it in my hand, this is not bad. I can choke up. Now, is it comfortable as hell like a Spyderco? No. Is it uncomfortable? Also no. This clip does not bite into my hand at all. It feels fine. I can open it. I can flick it right open. I have no problem with any of the deployment methods. It's very interesting and takes some getting used to. It is real funky looking, I know. As far as the flipper, this is the one that's really gonna catch you guys off. So this little flipper, this backspacer is actually your flipper. So if you push in, knife opens. But you see how this comes down here? This is what's propelling that knife. But that backspacer, yeah, it just comes out because there's a magnet over here, right? That magnet is being engaged by the two magnets in that backspacer, so it stays in place. It's kind of cool. Cool factor, 10 out of 10, okay? That's all I'm gonna say about that. Fidget factor, 10 out of 10, all right? Comfort, it's not the most comfortable. It's not uncomfortable, it's not the most comfortable. The other thing to mention here, guys, you're looking at M390 on the blade steel. Super cool stuff. Now, we have all of that out of the way. Obviously, I like and have been enjoying the knife. But the skinny, how much and when can you buy one, guys? That's the important stuff. That's why you're here, right? So, the last time I talked to Brian, I will have a pop-up if I am wrong. It's going to be $375. He wants to drop these at the end of May, okay? End of May, yes, end of May. Right before June, he wants to have the first batch as a drop for an order, okay? He knows he's gonna be getting some soon, hopefully, and he's gonna be trying to do some quality control and then do an order. If you like knives, I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting. Let's go ahead and cut and hit those final conclusions, guys. I can talk today. All right, guys, so obviously I like the knife. I saw some size comparisons, some specs, but I told you I was going to tell you which one I like over this or the f5.5. I think it's the Factor. Now, under 300, the f5.5 is still fantastic. But if I had to pick a sheep's foot in this size category, it's going to be the Factor, guys. Part of that is fidget. It's unique and it's fun. Whereas the f5.5 is kind of a little more run-of-the-mill, but it is a good working tool. Now, obviously, I've given this away, but let me go ahead and just say it. Obviously, this is a Plunder. Obviously, I will be ordering one of these. I love it. From somebody who's handled a lot of knives, this is so refreshing. It truly is unique and different and kind of just brings a smile to your face every time you open it and you hear that just, you know, that just beautiful ringing sound. It's super, super cool, guys. I have no other way to put it. That being said, head over to the Instagram, check out pictures. You're gonna want one of these. End of May. Again, if I'm wrong on price, I'll have a pop-up, $375. I think it's worth every penny. I think Brian has kind of poured his heart and soul into this one, guys, and it's cool. Well, hope you enjoyed the content. Come back for more. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.